when I read this story, I was like, wait, what? Now, for the past week or two, we have been reading stories of dissent amongst the Trump inner sanctum. I don't even know if we've talked about it because, I mean, at the end of the day, who gives a shit? It's not going, excuse my language, who gives a crap? It is not going to in any way change the trajectory of this administration. I hope we've learned that lesson from last time around. The Trump White House is going to be chaotic. There's going to be infighting. There's going to be people who get pushed out of the circle and into the circle and back out of the circle and back into the circle and so on and this and that. And there's no one individual who Trump needs. Bannon could be jettisoned and Giuliani could be in or whatever. It's irrelevant. They are doing demo. They are doing destruction. And one meathead can do it with another. Folks like Russ Vought, all they need is a pulse in the Oval Office and a go-ahead and nobody to actually slow them down. And that's basically, there is not going to be anybody in that White House who's going to slow anybody like a Russ Vought down at the Office of Management and Budget. So they're going to destroy the administrative state one way or another. So, we don't do those stories. But this is fascinating from the perspective of how dear leaderish this is. And this is a slightly different dynamic because Boris Epstein is a piece of garbage as far as I'm concerned. He spent his off-Trump years on Sinclair Media for, I think, at least 2 or 3 of them, basically espousing BS in their 60 stations across the country or whatever it is, the owner-operated stations they have. It's right-wing local media that has been franchised out, essentially. Or networked.
As loyal as a Trump loyalist gets. Let's just put that out there.
Without
Boris
a doubt.
has been there. I remember from the interviews conducted back in the 2016 spin room. He was one of Trump's top surrogates, and he's been the Trumpy guy from the beginning. And it wasn't
because he's so smooth talking. Let's put it that way.
He gets 200 views on Sinclair's uploads.
And but he has been in shoving matches with Elon Musk, right? And who else was he in a shoving match with?
Critical support. Howard Lutnick.
And Howard Lutnick, who was the who chaired the transition thing. And remember, Musk and RFK wanted Lutnick to be the head of, wanted to be Treasury Secretary, and ended up only getting commerce. He is also a big crypto guy from Cantor Fitzgerald.
Rumble investor.
Yep. So Lutnick is very much in favor, and it sounds like Epstein is on the outs because the idea that Epstein has been monetizing his relationship with Donald Trump, can you believe this? It is shocking.
You're playing the game called capitalism.
Report by John Solomon today about Boris Epstein.
Oh, pause
advisor
it.
to
I
your
should
father.
tell you, John Solomon is is he still at the AP? He was a right winger for a long time. Then I think he went to the AIE, and now maybe he's back to reporting. I don't know. Go.
Report by John Solomon today about Boris Epstein, an advisor to your father, a longtime advisor. Internal investigation by the Trump transition when they heard allegations from Scott Bessent and others that Boris Epstein was allegedly, we have not confirmed this, was trying to shake down people for access, for contracts, for money. Any comments on this tonight?
Yeah. Listen, I've known Boris for years, and I've never known him to be anything but a good human being. So, that said, I will tell you, my father has been incredibly clear. You do not do that under any circumstance, and believe me, there will be repercussions if somebody was. So, I've never seen that side of him. I've known him for a very long time, and I certainly hope the reporting's false. And I can also tell you, if it's true, the person will probably no longer be around.
All right, Eric. Report by John Solomon.
Trump,
Wow,
the
there
guy
you go.
who was selling watches just a few months ago that were seemingly misleadingly
monetize me.
advertised.
He doesn't monetize me. You don't give me a kickback, and it's going to blow back on you. That's the way. That's my saying.
So Boris didn't give him a cut?
No kickback.
Yeah.
Yes, blowback.
Yeah.
That's my new saying.
Yeah. The only bribes they take are from like the Saudis after they deliver for them, and then $2 billion invested in Kushner's building.
This is going to be really important for people when you start to consume media in this era. Things like, why is Trump pushing this tariff? It doesn't make any sense. It does make sense. You're just thinking about what his incentive structure is wrong. Oh my God, Boris Epstein. Laura Ingraham is not reporting on corruption in the inner circle of Donald Trump's inner circle unless there is a team within the inner circle that is against another team and they're pushing it. And now you have a sense of which side Laura Ingraham's on, or at least which side she thinks is winning. That's all this is. That is all this is. People need to be able to, watch the media and understand why we are hearing what we're hearing. This is always the case. It's even more the case right now because it's that naked.
And there's now a secondary media ecosystem that is trying to obscure that media literacy. That's trying to take what these Trump people are saying at face value and make it as so like, oh, maybe they're populist and responding to the public. No. What? There's so much credulity that's being assigned to these Trump people the second time around that frankly is in really bad faith, I think, from both our mainstream media to our supposedly independent online space. That's really self-serving, but also and obscures the truth of the matter, which is like, if you see anybody calling this out and saying Trump's taking corruption really seriously, immediately know that that's a source that you should never trust again.
Hey, after pouring so much of our hope into this year's election, it is natural to feel burnt out and that the system is broken. But we can't give up now. That's what they want us to do. They want us to let the system continue as is, unchecked and unchallenged. Well, I've been working with Ground News for a long time now because they're an independent app and website designed to help you easily navigate the chaos of today's current events. For every story circulating, you can easily swipe through every news source reporting on it with transparency on their political, their regional, their bias, and their credibility. This really eases the mental load of finding the truth and holding those in power accountable. Take a break from the chaos, but don't leave your future in their hands. We need to know what Republicans are up to and how we even got here in the first place. Ground News reveals important insights on both. Demand transparency in the leaders who are supposed to serve you and the news that's supposed to accurately inform you. Go to ground.news/majority or scan the QR code to take advantage of Ground News' biggest sale of the year. Save 50% on their top-tier Vantage plan and stay informed without getting overwhelmed with what's to come these next 4 years, because we are the power behind democracy, not just bystanders in a rigged game. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.